Hey everyone, this is Brushes and Bunnies, and for today's video we're going to be doing a sketchbook tour. I'm going to be showing you guys this sketchbook right here. Look how thick it is. It's thick. This is filled to the rim with mixed media sketches and little paintings and whatnot. It's not really that cool actually. There's a lot of pages that I wish I could have done a lot more in, but that's the beauty of looking back at your old work. You see a type of progression. Now this sketchbook actually dates back to October 2017, and the last few sketches go all the way up until May 2018. You're going to see a little bit of a progression happening with my skill and the way that I draw and the way that I paint. I'm not sure if the way that I paint is shown, right? Kind of shown, but you're gonna see where I started off and where I was at in October 2017 and where I'm at now. On top of the sketchbook, just to show a sort of natural progression of my skill in sketching, I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek of my latest sketch, and you're gonna see, we're gonna compare it from the first sketch of the sketchbook with the very last one that I did last night actually. So yeah, I really love doing these videos and I really love looking back at old work just because it really grounds me in a way where I feel like, oh my gosh, I've gotten so far and I've done so much work to get here, and it's just really nice to be proud of yourself. So if you guys ever feel bad, you feel down in the dumps, you feel like you're not progressing, or you're just not progressing fast enough, or you're just like the stuff that you're doing is not good, or you're feeling really insecure, just take a moment, take a break, just stop, take a look at your old work. So I hope you guys will like this video. If you do, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more art videos, and check out my social media. I did mention in my last video that on Instagram I'm almost at 10,000 followers. Once I reach 10,000, I'll be doing a giveaway, Instagram giveaway. I love doing giveaways. It's something that I love doing. You guys know that. For those that are newly subscribed to this channel, I do giveaways quite often when I reach these milestones that I consider quite big, and yeah, just gotta celebrate with everyone. So 10,000 Instagram, check it out, and without further ado, I say we should get started. I'm gonna show you guys my old work. I'm a little bit. I'm always embarrassed with this stuff. I do get embarrassed, shy. Alright, so welcome to my sketchbook. This is from 2017 to 2018, so I'll be showing you a progression of sketches that I did in this sketchbook. Now, unfortunately, what I realized as I looked through the sketchbook is that a lot of the pages that appear on the left side, I just didn't draw anything on, which is unfortunate, and it's a super bad habit of mine, so I am trying to correct this with my current sketchbook, so please don't be hating on me. I know it's a waste of paper, and I'll probably go back and redraw things in it over the next couple weeks. Alright, so let's go page by page, starting with the very first one, which is dated October 27th. And this is a good example of how I used to draw characters and how I didn't really know how to do proportions. So a good example is the eyes. The eyes are a lot bigger than what they should be compared to the other size of her facial features, like the nose and the lips. The next page is a bit creepy. Gotta say, I was trying to draw a dude and it turned out to be some weird looking kind of, I don't even know. This is dated October 28th and it's a watercolor sketch, mixed media as well. I did use pencil crayons. I did use the golds that I still use to this day. And I really like the way she turned out. This was kind of a beginning to new concepts that I would then start to pursue much more often. And you're gonna see the next couple sketches here are pretty much kind of like the style that I'm starting to develop, which is really, really cool to see how it started. This is also October 28th. And at this point, although I'm starting to try to build a background, you can see that the face is still completely off. Like, there's just something weird about her face. The proportions are off and it just doesn't look right. And also her hair is just kind of, it's just kind of like a straight mess on top of her head. There's another one, proportions are way off. She has a bobble head. But apart from that, I think it is still a cute sketch. Here, there's a couple really left, like not done sketches. I don't know what was going on here, but I think I gave up. Things are just not working out, and I was just like, what am I doing? I don't know how to draw. And I left the page. I just left it. Now this one was sort of a milestone into my development as a watercolor artist. This is dated November 6, 2017, and it shows a figure with the face that seems to be right in terms of proportions. I think it looks okay. This is sort of like a kind of shining moment for me when I realized that things do not need to be outlined in black all the time. In terms of the face, for example, you don't need to use black. So I did use a pink one here, and I experimented with more colors. Although it is blue and purple, which I really like the color combo, I did end up using greens and some reds as well. Here's another one, dated November 7th, and again with this one, I did try to use, create a background with watercolor, and I did also use my copper paint. Oh gosh, that's quite the sketch. She has like 50 fingers. I don't even know what's going on here. Here's another one dated from November 14th. It is also watercolor mixed media. I do like the way that she turned out, although there are wonky features in her face. For example, her potato nose. I don't even know what's going on there, but I did like the way that she turned out. There was a little bit of a cartoon style happening with the flower band on her head. This is also dated November 2017, and I wanted to incorporate some flowers in the background. I still struggle with flowers a lot, and I want to create better looking flowers, of course, and find a style with flowers, especially when it comes to watercolor work. So this is what I was trying to do here, and also at this point I am starting to incorporate more of the human body, which is something that I didn't really do before. And you'll see throughout the sketchbook that I do play around with some compositions with the human body form. Features, like what is going on, like what, the eyes, the mouth, I don't even know. This is in November also. This one I really like. This is in December 5th to be exact, and I just love the splashes of color, like the pink and the oranges and the gradient of her hair. And I fell in love with this one due to the hair because of the way that I had painted it. And you'll see that the gradient effect is something that has stuck with me throughout the next couple months, where I really try to incorporate more gradients into my work. Yeah. I don't know what was going on here. I was trying things out. I don't know. This one was done for a marker challenge. I was drawing with super cheap markers that I bought at the Euro store, and the markers were so saturated that I couldn't even draw like the full face because she would turn into an orange like tangerine. So I just kind of like cross-hatched around her facial features, and yeah, I don't know. This was for a challenge video, so I do have an art video about this. Now this one is interesting for me because although I'm having issues with some of the ways that I drew her face, I actually do like the watercolor a lot. Now this one here, this is dated 2018. So at this point, more body, of course. I'm drawing more body. It's completely off, but at least I'm trying. But what I want to show you is the face. So I hope you guys can see that. The face is starting to look a little bit more in the style that I'm drawing now. I'm learning to not draw the eyes so big. I'm learning to draw the nose and the lips in the correct position and also the correct spaces. And it's just starting to come together a little bit more. So the practice is starting to show. And yeah, I think this is a interesting jump from December to February. Now this one is still cute. I still like it. She reminds me of Taylor Swift almost, and she's watercolor mixed media. I'm starting to add some butterflies, some sparkly stuff, some floral things, and just playing with colors that, again, I don't normally use. This is more of a neon blue, and yeah, I don't know. These are some eyeballs. I was experimenting with eyeballs. Yeah. Alright, so this is a sketch that is another defining moment for me. I feel like, looking back on it now, this was a sketch that I first made in February 8th of 2018, and you can see the style is starting to form in terms of the direction that I want to go into, where I start to use darker shades of pencil. I'm incorporating more line work, and I'm also just keeping it as a simple sketch, or trying to simplify and try to find a concept with some floral design. So this is very, very new for me at this point, and it's something that I really fell in love with and something that I started to pursue on a deeper level. Here's another watercolor sketch dated February. Another one of a guy. Couple sketches here of some male figures. We're just gonna skip that. A funny looking watercolor doodle of myself. This is a self-portrait of me with my rabbit Mia. This is an interesting one. I was playing around with markers, so my touch markers, watercolor, and gouache. So actually the way that I did the face was primarily marker, and on top of the marker work, I added a thick layer of gouache to enhance some of her facial features. So it looks interesting up close, and it almost looks like a weird matte. I don't really know how to describe it. It just looks very strange, but I really like the technique, actually, and I still like her. I think she looks really cute. Here's another watercolor sketch. A random sketch with the hand that's way too big. I still struggle a lot with hands. So this is still, no progress has been made there. We've got another watercolor sketch, and here I tried to do like a guy with dreadlocks, which just did not turn out. I don't even know. I gave up halfway through. Got a watercolor with some shiny stuff. This one is interesting. This is a sketch made of a portrait of a man in Ethiopia, I believe it was. And this man belonged to the Mercy tribe, and he's a warrior. And I loved his face. Like, his face was so nice, and the expression on his face was really beautiful. And I wanted to capture it with the sketch. So I really like the way that his face turned out. There's very sharp edges. His eyes are very menacing looking. He looks very, like, he's ready to fight, and I really loved the expression that he had. The body, of course, needs work, but I really started to like incorporating bodies together and also with hands. So this is another defining moment for me. In this case, I'm trying to draw different characters, different facial expressions, different characteristics of the face. Male, female, I don't know, wider eyes, narrower eyes, just different facial features. I don't want to draw characters that have the same face over and over, so I'm really trying to practice this. And this is dated in March 25th. Here is a kind of weird looking vampire character. I don't know, he just looks completely weird. This is dated March 27th. Here's another watercolor sketch with a lot of mixed media. I'm using gouache, I'm using pencil crayon, I'm using, I think that's a watercolor, gouache, pencil crayon, and marker together. So it's a lot of mixed media. This is in April. This one here is a sketch that I did for my my live stream that I did in April, where I would draw my subscribers every single Saturday, and this was one of the first ones that I did. Here's another one. A couple others. At this point I switched from watercolor, like full watercolor, to just sketching with color, just minimal watercolor and primarily sketches and marker work. So this is sort of what I was going for. What I really liked about this challenge that I did for myself was that a lot of you guys submitted photos that were very expressive, and I really liked practicing these different expressions. It was a lot of fun. Here's another one of a marker. This is mixed media, mostly marker actually, and the background is watercolor. And this is an interesting one. I'm starting to work a lot more with backgrounds and trying to figure out my standing or my style in terms of the way that I do backgrounds around my characters. I really like her. She is done April 11th in 2018, and you could see the style is starting to come together, the way that I will start to draw from now on. The character is very angular. There's a little bit of a cartoon-esque or almost like a graphic novel kind of style to it, which I love so much, and there's minimal watercolor, so I really like this one. Here's another one of a kind of broken doll. We got concept art here for a challenge that I did, or a video that I did with watercolor, and we have another one of a like little sketch here with rabbits. Just trying to find an illustrative way to create a character in a background again. So this is really, I like this one. We got another subscriber drawing here. This is I'm trying to like sprinkle some guys into my sketchbook also, and he turned out to look like a sort of sad looking druggy, I don't even know what happened here, but I tried. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. So I decided to do some marker work, some marker illustrations. This is April 20th, and I wanted to use colors that I don't normally use. So in this case, it's like a lime green or yellow green or whatever. And I incorporate some like horns, some flowers, floral work, and this flower work that I see here is actually starting to show up a lot in my current work, and it's pretty interesting, and I really, really like it. So again, the goal here is to not use black, to try to not use black and use a different color as an outline. This one also kind of in the same method where I use elements I don't normally use, skulls, horns, kind of a weird wavy background. So yeah, this one as well. And this one here. So this was shortly before I left for Ireland at the end of April. Now this was before I left for Ireland, my 3-week vacation, which happened in May this year. And when I came back, I had not drawn anything for 3 weeks straight. And I drew this for the very first time in May 20th. And what had changed dramatically, I found, was because I had a break, I just didn't draw anything. But what I noticed was that the way that I drew was very different now. And it was more loose and it felt more free. And I felt like I had a good recharge. I don't really know how to describe it, but something had changed. Okay, so I just want to leave this with you guys as a final message, just to see how much you can evolve over the months. As you keep drawing, as the months go by, you're going to see a slow progression, but it will be a progression nonetheless. So here's an example, the very first page of my sketchbook, dated October 27th, 2017, and this is something that I did last night, and this one a couple days beforehand. So you can definitely see there is a huge jump from the way that I used to draw female characters to the way that I do it now, and also male characters that you saw in the sketchbook. So this is just a sort of my progression, and something that is really nice to look back on, and something that you should be proud about, and something that you should just realize that things are evolving as you keep going, and you should never just be down because things are not evolving fast enough. You will get there, I promise you. I've started to get there now, and it's a really, really nice feeling. That being said, guys, I hope you had a wonderful time, and keep drawing, don't ever give up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!